What is 5D consciousness? I hear a lot of people talking about this 5D consciousness. I'm sure you've heard of it as well. And we all want to know exactly what is it. Well, when they mention 5D consciousness, I think most people are thinking some type of actual physical shift into the fifth dimension, or some type of physical phased reality from planet Earth moving into some etherical realm. But tonight, I'm going to break down what exactly is 5D consciousness. All right. So it's going to be a great talk tonight. If you are just checking in, make sure you please click the like button. Please make sure you share the video. Okay. And it's going to be a great talk tonight. So let's get in. Let's get locked in, loaded. Let's pay attention. I know I'm kind of late, but you know what? Sometimes you got to tap into the people who stay up late. If you're sitting around or laying down and relaxing and, just trying to get ready for the next day, get your mental ready, this will be a great conversation for you. Okay. Great conversation tonight. We're going to talk about 5D consciousness. Let me check out the live chat and see who's in the house. But before I do that, let's take a quick peek at what's coming up in Carson, California at the Carson Center on Carson Street, taught by Billy Carson. That's 4 Carsons in a row.
If there were any one period in time one would desire to be born in,
I became a master.
Imagined scenario for a real one.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. In a world built to keep you asleep, a few are born with the fire to remember. And there comes a moment in every soul's journey where the illusion cracks, when the truth is no longer just a whisper in your dreams, but a roaring fire in your spirit. On November the 8th, in the heart of Los Angeles and on live stream, I'll be joined by my brothers Mike Rashid King and Robert Edward Grant, warriors of the mind, body, and soul. This is Manifest Destiny 2025, a gathering of warriors, seekers, and creators of the new earth. You'll leave with tools, you will leave with family, and most of all, you'll leave with the God frequency to change your life and the world around you. And there's only 800 seats available in person, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to manifestdestiny2025.com and get your tickets today. All right. And the link is in the bio. If you're on Instagram or Twitch or X, the link is in my bio for the Manifest Destiny 2025. It's going to be an amazing, amazing day. Live and in living color. Myself, Robert Grant, Mike Rashid. Wow. Book signing, meet and greet, red carpet, the whole works. We'll be in the Carson Center. So it will be home. We will be in our brand new home at the Carson Center, about 15 minutes away from the Los Angeles airport. Originally, it was supposed to be at the Marriott. So if you booked at the time that it was at the Marriott, that's okay. It's only 15 minutes away from the Marriott. We moved it because of space. Marriott did not allow us to have the amount of space that we actually needed. After telling us that they could, they changed up on us, and we just manifested an incredible new space, and it's called the Carson Center on Carson Street in Carson, California. You can't get any better than that. Taught by Billy Carson. Talk about manifestation. That's 4. That's the 4 C's. So we're in the house. It's already locked, loaded, paid for. And we are looking forward to seeing you November the 8th, okay? And I'll drop the link in the live chat as well for the YouTubers, but it also is in the caption of this video. And it's going to be an amazing, amazing day. 8 hours of interactive training. Not just me talking to a camera, which is fine, but there are exercises that I'm going to have you do live in the crowd that are going to show you and prove to you the power of the human mind. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be an amazing day. Robert Grant is going to do an amazing job, and of course, Mike Rashid as well. All 3 of us are best-selling authors, and we'll have all of our books there, so you can get a copy, get them signed and personalized right to you. And VIPs get to come to dinner with Robert and myself and Mike Rashid. We'll have a special private VIP dinner. Okay, so we can really sit down and eat and talk. All right, so it's going to be phenomenal. So let's talk about this 5D consciousness. So with the 5D thing, a lot of people have been talking to me about it for so many years. And I'm looking up because I'm just getting back over to the live chat again. I believe that it's real, but I want to tell you my perspective on it. I want to tell you my perspective on the 5D consciousness. And so 5D consciousness it's not about a physical location, like on another planet or anything like that. It's a higher state of awareness. It's when you take yourself from here to here consciously. It's running up the conscious ladder, or like as we say, becoming an ascended master. It's virtually the upgrade of the human perception from a limited 3D reality where we have separation, we have fear, we have survival mode, fight or flight, and it moves us into this frequency of unity, unconditional love, service to others, and expanded awareness. And when we move and we shift into that vibe, into that frequency, everything is going to change. If you look at what's going on in the world right now, there's a lot of polarization. There's a lot of division. There are people struggling and doing very bad in certain parts of the world. All in part because a very small number of people have imposed their will on a very large group of people. And they've utilized one of the oldest techniques and one of the oldest psychological tricks called divide and conquer. And that divide and conquer tactic, which has been used on humanity since time immemorial, it works like a charm because we're such delicate and fragile and frail conscious beings. We fall for almost anything, and literally almost anything. But as you can see, I saw something interesting happening during this latest situation going on in the Middle East. I noticed that people all around the world and even leaders in other countries started to show signs of empathy, something I hadn't seen in quite some time. Okay, I hadn't seen that on a mass scale like this. There's a 50-boat flotilla heading out to Gaza right now. There are politics. I like to call them I almost want to call them poly-tricksters, because that's just so ingrained in me to say that. But politicians that have also come forward. There's a lot of people fed up with some of the things going on in the world, especially when it comes to mistreating children. And I did see something. I saw something during this, the route of this genocide that has been going on, this Holocaust. I noticed a certain level of empathy rising in humanity. And that certain level of empathy and the need to feel like you want to help because you see a child struggling, starving, hurting, in fear, that feeling of that need and desire to want to step in and assist, that's the same need and feeling we need to have for everyone on the entire planet at all times. At all times. This is a great awakening for humanity. Not that it's a great thing that happened. That's really unfortunate. But I am optimistic because of things that I see when situations like this arise. I see the potential of humanity moving in the right direction under stressful conditions when needed. We just have to be consistent about that. It can't be a tragedy that happens that switches our mindset into unconditional love and empathy. It's got to be something that happens on a consistent basis. We always have to feel like we're here to help, assist, and uplift, no matter who or where the people are. What's going on in that part of the world is just one small segment of what's going on in Congo and in other places around the world. In Libya, there's a lot of tragedies and travesties still, and egregious acts still being acted upon against mankind by a very small group of people. And we've got to finally just draw a line in the sand and say, stop, enough is enough. And that's about the point that the world is getting to right now. You can sense the tension. You can sense the shift in energy where most people were like ignoring and whatever, and they're the blame. No, they're the blame, and who cares? I got to pay my bills next week. To it switched and pivoted to, I mean, serious attention, serious concern, lots and millions of conversations around the world, and people want to do whatever they can possibly do to get involved, even if it's in the smallest way. That showed me something in the last couple of months. It really showed me something. If my optimistic mindset about where humanity's heading was wavering in any way, that renewed my optimism. It gave me hope. So, in order for us to get into 5D, we have to operate like that consistently. It can't be wait till these people are being attacked and slaughtered. It can't be wait till these kids in the Congo are mining and being killed in collapsed mines. It can't be wait until this attack on a city or whatever. By then, it's like we're playing catch up. You see? How do we move into this 5D consciousness, which is a higher level of thinking? It's seeing things from a different perspective, not the perspective of 3D, but the perspective of the spiritual realm, looking back down on what's going on in the third dimension, because mind is outside of space and time, right? Think of 3D as matter-based living. You're living inside this physical avatar body that can maneuver around on the XYZ axis. It can be animated by your soul. If you did not inhabit this body consciously, the body wouldn't even move. It'd be like in the Avatar movie. You're connected to this body on a conscious link, a link up. It's a symbiotic link. All of us are symbionts. Every single person, every single sentient being in the known universe is a symbiont. Consciousness goes to inhabit the physical realm and animate life. Right? So you say, am I this body? Am I really this body? Right? Am I my possessions? Am I separate from others? 5D is energy-based living. It's I am consciousness. I am consciousness having a physical experience temporally. Temporal. That means we're talking about the timeline, which is temporary, this physical realm. And am I connected to everything? Am I connected to my thoughts? And how do my thoughts ripple throughout the quantum field? Someone asked me what I did for a living last weekend at a conference that I was speaking at, the Best You conference in California. Shout out to Prince and his wife there. And they said, what do you do for a living? Everybody was going around the room, giving a little something about themselves and introduction. And you know what I told them? I told them that I create ripples in the space-time continuum that alter future realities in the third dimension. That's what I do for a living. I create ripples in the space-time continuum that alter future realities in the third dimension. That's ascended conscious thinking. What is my purpose here? What am I doing? I'm making memes, I'm making videos and podcasts and interviews and TV shows and documentaries. That's the side effect of my action. What's my intention behind the action? The intention is to change the future, to change the world, to alter my timeline and make this a better place. And how do you do that? You have a conscious thought that you act on now. That conscious thought and the actions you ignite in the moment then send a ripple through space-time, altering and fracturing time. And then you rendezvous with that new timeline at a point in the future. If you have no conscious thought backed by action now for an alternative future reality, you'll never rendezvous with an alternative future reality. You will stay on your current timeline, and that's a timeline of hell and damnation. People are thinking that, if they don't praise out and call out to these deities, they're going to end up in this lake of fire and this burning eternal hell and damnation. Well, that can be here. Earth is both heaven and earth is both hell. What reality do you want to live in? Are you waiting to die so that you can live? Or would you like to live now? I choose to live now. And in every incarnation of myself, I choose to live now. The only moment that exists is the moment of now. But if you want to create a future that you would like to fracture and move into an alternative reality, this is based on quantum mechanics. What I'm telling you is not woo-woo. I want you to take the transcript of this audio from this video, use an AI app, transcribe this audio, paste it into ChatGPT or some other Google or whatever, and dig into the science of what I'm talking about. In quantum theory, we are in this energetic grid, which is a quantum field. And in this quantum field, every potential future outcome exists simultaneously. We as human beings, through the double slit experiment, we know that we have the power to consciously interact with the waves of potential and collapse of future reality right on our timeline. This is a power that we have. We have it and we don't even realize it. We take it for granted. We collapse realities all the time. Your son or your daughter says, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, I have a basketball game next week, Saturday at 4 p.m. Well, your child just collapsed an alternative reality by giving you that information. Now the timeline reality matrix pivots onto your consciousness, and then you set an appointment within your calendar. And then you alter your schedule to make sure that you're able to rendezvous with that space and point in time so that your child can make it to that basketball game on time and play within that game. You are manifesting and fracturing future timelines through conscious thought all the time without even really thinking about it. So if that's the case, what does that mean? It means that we have the power to shift not only the timeline, but even the level of conscious thought that we're at. To move into 5D means to move your conscious thought into a higher way of thinking, a higher way of being, a higher way of conceiving, a much higher way of understanding. We're talking about unity awareness. when we're talking about the collective itself, right? So as a collective, we're co-creating reality. Understanding that all beings, plants, animals, galaxies, anything living in this energetic field is all energy. Everything exists as energy, with the illusion of solidity. And so what you want to live in, what you want to feel, what you want to vibe in is unconditional love. So moving beyond the ego. We're stuck in ego mode a lot. And that's what's holding us back from ascending to this 5D consciousness, the ego mode. Even in the conscious community, there's backfighting and backstabbing and arguing and alienation and all these crazy things going on, and attacks and clout chasing. And this is supposed to be the conscious community, but a lot of the times it resembles the unconscious community to me. There's people out there just waiting for anyone to have the tiniest downfall so they can make videos and try to get views so they can get paid off of negativity. And they're asking for the Cash App every 5 seconds in the live chat while they bring you this bad news on somebody. That's not unconditional love, and that's holding the massive collective back from moving into 5D. We all have to be on one accord. We all have to feel and realize and understand that we can all rise together. When you are a person that's not operating in unconditional love and empathy, what's happening is you are saying to the universe, you don't believe there's enough. And the only way I can claw my way to the top is on the backs of others, even if I'm stepping on their necks on the way up. But when you shift into an abundance mindset, you realize it's better to have collaboration over competition, and that there's more than enough because the universe itself is overly, infinitely abundant, which means that anything you do because you're part of the universe is infinitely and overly abundant. You have to erase the scarcity mindset and the egotistical mindset and move into the unconditional love mindset. And when you do that, everything's going to change. You move into compassion, empathy, and service to others. And all of a sudden, everything begins to shift and change, which is what I saw going on in the last few months. People moving into that direction, which made me feel very optimistic. So 3D, it's always moving into the past. It's always, as I said with my hourglass the other day, I don't have it in here, but time is rushing towards us. If you can imagine the sands in an hourglass rushing down towards the bottleneck and then moving into the past. 5D is time is understood simultaneously. The past, present, and future exist all at once, which is why when you're operating from that mindset, like I said, sending your mind out to fracture and change realities through conscious thought and action. That's the power that you have when you're operating from the 5D consciousness. We just need more people living and moving in that frequency, and then the masses will shift to that way of thinking. It's going to give you more manifestation power. In 5D, manifestation is actually accelerated because thoughts and emotions are basically like intentions that are aligned with the frequency you want to be on. In other words, if you want to be abundant, you have to get on the abundant frequency. If you're in 5D consciousness, it's going to happen more freely and more easily. If you're in 3D consciousness, which is about matter and solidity and believing that everything is down here is real, well, that's going to be a big blockage for you because the 3D realm believes that you have to consume something to keep living. Everything in the 3D mindset, everything in the 3D concept of this third level dimension, the third density, is about consumption. One thing has to eat something else in order for the other thing to thrive and live. And then something comes along and eats that, and something comes along and eats that, so forth and so on. If you want to take it metaphorically into humanity, we don't have anybody coming to eat us because we're the apex. However, we're eating each other energetically. We have class levels, poor, middle class, upper middle class. Well, that's all disappearing. And then we have the rich, and then we have the wealthy, right? We have division with racism. You're white and I'm black. You're yellow. It's ridiculous. I'm red, whatever. And then we have more division with the politricks. You're red and I'm blue and all this and that. So it's all this division, which is creating separation. The separation is allowing certain people to devour other people. They're consuming other people's energy back and forth. So in that way, it's still a consumption type of a system. It's third dimensional thinking, competition, clout chasing, attacking people and trying to bring them down and all these kind of crazy things. All of those things are all about low level thinking, not 5D thinking. All right. You want to move into intuition, multidimensional awareness. And in there, you have incredible synchronicities that will happen for you. You will have downloads. You will get access to higher knowledge. You will manifest things will begin to fly right towards you, high vibe things, not low vibe things, right? And you begin to become the true person you were truly destined and meant to be when you're in the 5D mindset. And there's real science behind all of this. Like I was trying to tell you, there's real science behind this. It's quantum physics, quantum mechanics, real science that physicists from around the world, neuroscientists from around the world have been experimenting with and studying in laboratory settings. In quantum physics, you have the fact that particles exist in probability waves until they're observed. So they're telling us that everything is a probability. But when you're operating from the 3D mindset, you can't even perceive that. You're just stuck in the game like a hamster on a wheel. From 5D, you're above the wheel. You're above everything. You're able to perceive and have intuition levels that are off the charts because you're awake and aware. Your frequency is always vibrating high. And if it starts to dip, you catch yourself and bring it back up again. And then, of course, like I talk in my book, Fractal Holographic Universe, we have fractals and we have holograms. The universe is a holographic fractal, meaning that the whole is encoded in the very part, the smallest part. And 5D awareness is the recognizing or the recognition of the design of the divine. Understanding what the matrix actually is and what it's made of. Because once you know what it is and how it's made, you can then see how you can reprogram and manipulate it for the good. The elites, they know all this. They've decided to manipulate it for the bad, for evil and darkness. It's our job to keep putting ourselves back into our brain-heart coherence. And the neuroscience actually shows that when the brain and heart are in resonance, you achieve higher states of perception and you open up to receive more wisdom, more knowledge, and your body is vibrating at a higher frequency. They know this because they use an EEG cap during the process of a brain-heart coherence exercise, and they saw the brain map go to a high frequency. We can tell this now because we have the technology. No more woo-woo, real science. Real science. And so I'm going to drop real quick in the live chat a link to the Manifest Destiny for the YouTubers because I know that I haven't dropped the link in there yet. It's also in the caption of this video. It's also a link in my bio on the other platforms. If you're on Instagram, it's in the link in my bio. Okay. Manifest Destiny 2025. This was supposed to happen earlier this year, but the fires came to California and it got postponed because of the fires. So, but everything happens in divine time and everything happens for a specific reason. And so in that case, this is the right time and the right place and the right moment to be involved and to get access to Manifest Destiny 2025. Okay. This is the Carson Center. Beautiful place. That's the Carson Center on Carson Street in Carson, California. And it's going to be a manifesting workshop taught by Billy Carson. That's 4 Carsons. All right. 4 Carsons. Looking forward to seeing you there. We're going to go deep into this knowledge, but I'm also going to get into the interactivity teachings. It's going to be some moving around, some standing up. I'm going to show you some things, some thought experiments live and in living color. You're going to act on these things and you're going to see that, wow, there is more to me than I thought. I can do more than I thought. Limiting beliefs are going to be erased at the Manifest Destiny workshop. It's not going to be just sitting down for hours listening to boring speeches. Okay. I know on the ticket thing it says you're going to have a lunch with Billy and Robert Grant and Mike Rashid, but we moved that and changed it to a dinner, not a lunch. Just because I want to maximize the day. I don't want to take anything away from the day there. But we'll have a dinner together, a light dinner afterwards. Well, everyone will provide some food for everyone during the break at the actual venue. Everyone will get some food, and afterwards the VIPs will get a special dinner with us three. Okay. It's going to be a day to remember. It's going to be a night to remember. Amazing. Imagine the Carson Center. I gotta keep saying it because this is a crazy manifestation. The Carson Center on Carson Street in Carson, California, taught by Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge. It's just phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. Check it out.
Any one period in time one would desire to be born in.
I became a master.
Imagined scenario or a real one.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. In a world built to keep you asleep, a few are born with the fire to remember. And there comes a moment in every soul's journey where the illusion cracks, when the truth is no longer just a whisper in your dreams, but a roaring fire in your spirit. On November the 8th, in the heart of Los Angeles and on live stream, I'll be joined by my brothers Mike Rashid King and Robert Edward Grant, warriors of the mind, body, and soul. This is Manifest Destiny 2025, a gathering of warriors, seekers, and creators of the new earth. You'll leave with tools, you will leave with family, and most of all, you'll leave with the God frequency to change your life and the world around you. And there's only 800 seats available in person, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to manifestdestiny2025.com and get your tickets today. All right. Yes, I saw somebody comment in the live chat. Did I hear free food? Yes, you heard free food. Okay. That's funny. Did I hear free food? I can almost hear somebody's voice. Did I hear free food? Yes, you heard free food. You're gonna get some food, okay? I'm not gonna starve you over there. I'm gonna buy your food for you. Okay. That's too funny. Again, y'all click that link. Click the link and register for the Manifest Destiny 2025 so we can start working on getting to this 5D consciousness, because it's a real thing. It's just that a lot of people haven't understood exactly what it was or what it is. So they've been kind of stating it wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. The idea and the meaning, their energy behind what they would love to see is right. Just the explanation of it has been kind of off. But the energy and what the hope for humanity to supersede what's going on right now, is in a good place. So there's nothing wrong with what they were saying or how they were trying to explain it. They just couldn't verbalize it properly. Over these last few years, I've been hearing people just verbalize it the wrong way, and that's okay. It gets a very deep topic. But the energy and the understanding behind where they want to go, where they want to see humanity is phenomenal. Okay. And, we got to realize that the 5D really is a shift. It's a shift of the way we think about everything, but it's not about escaping Earth. Okay. We're not going to escape planet Earth. We're not going to transcend up into some magical place. We're still going to be here. And it's our mission to bring heaven to earth while we are still here walking the planet. That's the grand experiment, everyone. In case you didn't know, the grand experiment is how long will it take them to grow up spiritually, to start loving one another unconditionally, and to manifest heaven on earth. That's the ultimate manifestation. That's the ultimate manifestation. How do we do that? Are we going to be able to achieve that? Right? I do have an update on 3i Atlas coming. I didn't go live about it last night because I saw somebody in the live chat, because I was waiting for one more piece of information from a scientist. I wanted to get one more piece of information because I wanted to break some new information that nobody has yet. And I actually just got it while we were on this live. So I'm going to go live about the 3-Eye Atlas tomorrow. But it'll be my second time doing a full podcast. So I've already done one. I was the first one to talk about it. But this is what it's all about. You know, it's how do we continue to ascend here in our minds to the point where we evolve as a species on this planet. And the ultimate mission is to manifest heaven on earth. That's the grand design. That is the experiment that's going on in this program that we're living in. And I do mean program. They are waiting to see how long will it take for us to rise to that level and move into a golden age. And this will be our 5th golden age. If you remember the movie The Matrix, when he goes to meet the architect keeps telling him, we have manifested golden age after golden age, but every time y'all get there, you collapse into oblivion and darkness again. He says every iteration of the experiment has failed. So he's created this artificial reality with a mix of, yin and yang in there, mostly yang, to keep human minds addicted to cortisol and trauma, but giving glimpses of good moments here and there to keep everything functioning so they can utilize the human being as an energy source, a battery. And then what happened? Neo disconnected himself from the artificial womb by disconnecting the umbilical cord from the back of his brainstem. And then he was born through the womb. He was born and birthed into the real world. You see? Love you, Anne-Marie. I keep saying Annie-Marie. I don't know why I want to say Annie-Marie, but it's Anne-Marie. Great supporter. So we have to understand that it's all about us being born again in the spirit, waking up to a higher dimension of conscious thought and love and frequency. That's the 5D consciousness. That's what it's about. And it's about when we get there, what do we do with this new frequency? Well, we create a new earth right beneath our own feet. Beneath our feet. We're not going to wait to die so that we can live. That's unknown. Do I believe there is life after death? Yes, because I died last year. This is my anniversary of my death this last week. I died in a hospital and crossed over 3 times in one night. So I know there's life after death. I don't know an extended period how that life is, though. When I was there, I was peaceful, I was happy, I was tranquil, I was out of pain. I was dying from pneumonia. But I didn't see anybody. And the voices that were talking to me were just telling me I can stay there or I can go back. So there's still an unknown. There's still a question mark. I could tell you one thing, that it's just a transition into a peaceful state. I have zero fear of dying now. I mean, absolutely zero. I'm not suicidal or anything. I'm just saying, if I go tomorrow, it's like, okay, move on to the next dimension. I'll be back at some point, or maybe I won't, but I have no fear. It took my fear away, whatever little bit of fear I probably had about it. I transitioned right into another place instantaneously. It was like, blink of an eye, you're there. But there's another, that's only for moments. What about for eternity? It wasn't like I stepped into this big city and said, hey, what's going on, brother and sister? What are we doing here? What's going on tonight? That didn't happen. The mission is, while we're here, how can we fix this place? We get people that move into positions of power that we give them, and they still don't utilize the power in their voices to make change. I see this all the time. People went crazy for Obama, Barack Obama. Oh my God, Barack Obama, he can speak on the mic. He's a great orator. He's black. We got to make him a president. They should have known this guy wasn't going to do nothing, because he couldn't even take care of Chicago when he was running Chicago. He was a senator, and he couldn't even get those streets cleaned up. So what made us think he was going to clean up America? Now, he had the power to, but he never used his voice. He not one time did he ever get on that mic and call out a national press release, a press conference, and say, hey, everyone at the sound of my voice right now, drop whatever you are doing. And I want you to turn around, and I want you to tell your neighbor you love them. I want you to hug somebody today. I want you all to go out into your communities and pick up any trash in the streets. He could have done that. He could have spent his time going to some of the bigger cities that are having major inner city issues, and he could have sent government funding to create new types of community programs that really have outreach and really help the children at a very young age switch their mindset to understand who they are, the power that's in them, and how to make a change within their own community. There could have been an outreach program to work with prisons to really rehabilitate, not to just keep locking people up in private prisons for the profits. All these things he had the power to do, he didn't do anything. Then we have these rappers that make it to the highest levels in these Mossad-run record labels. And that's who runs them. The IDF and Mossad run the record labels. And they get to 30, 40, 50, 60 million followers, some of these rappers. You know, the female rappers and the big name rappers, male. They have some superior power over the masses. And they don't ever say, I got paid millions. My contract's about to expire. I got 30, 40 million followers now. I can write my own ticket. I don't need these people no more. I don't need these people. I can go out here and put out the music that I want to put out. And because I'm seen as a leader and an expert in my field, the people are going to vibe with me no matter what I do. No, they don't do that. They keep rocking with Mossad. They keep rocking with the IDF. They never use their true power. Their voice is their power. Some of these artists can get on a mic and say one thing to the youth, positive, and give them a command, a call to action, and those kids will go do it the next day or the same day. And they'll buy more of their music and come to more of their concerts. But they have even with all the money and the fame that they've gained, they have a lack of abundance mindset. They're still in 3D consciousness, materialistic consciousness. It has to feel, I have to touch something. And because they're in that egotistical 3D consciousness, they are susceptible to control by these elite oligarchs. And they can't see that there's more abundance out there than they can even imagine. And they have a scarcity mindset, even though it seems that they have made it big. They don't believe there's enough money for everyone, including themselves. So they keep operating under the guise of these Mossad systems and these IDF systems. They're just puppets in a matrix. They're willing puppets. They're like the guy in the Matrix movie that was like going to sneak off to meet with the agents so he can have a nice steak dinner because he just wanted to be plugged back in. That's these big rappers out here. They have so much power and they don't even access it. They can say one thing and change an entire community. They can change communities in America, even in the world. They can change the lyrics, keep the same. People don't give a damn about lyrics. They care about the beat. I know, because I'm a music artist. I create music. I've been on Billboard. I produced an album called Return of Enki with Donnie Arcade and Kenny Garcia, aka Cruz, that made Billboard for 8 weeks in 4 categories in 2018. And not one lyric on there was about drugs, abuse, or anything else. It was all about positivity and knowledge and ancient wisdom. But you couldn't really detect it because the way the lyrics are laid out is very, very, it was very, very neuroscientific. The beats, trap beats. Everyone loves trap beats. I don't care what race you are, you love a trap beat. It's going to make your head bop. You hear the beat first. You like the beat. Oh, this beat is good. Then you hear the hook. If the hook is really good, now you learn the hook. It's beat, then hook. Then the lyrics come last because you don't even know what the hell they're talking about. The lyrics are the last thing you worry about. It's the beat first, then the hook, then the lyrics. So when I learned this system and realized what was going on, I got the trap beat, I got powerful hooks, and then I dropped the knowledge. And then they learn the words and they go, what am I saying? Let me Google this. And now I created a researcher. You see the power? And I'm not even on their level. But I'm getting tens of thousands of people every year to listen to my music and do some research. I'm utilizing music as a tool to move people into a different level of consciousness. Imagine if I had their power, their following. Man, please, this planet would shift instantaneously. If 3 or 4 of them get together, they can literally change the world overnight. They don't even know they have that power. They think that the power belongs to the people that are running these labels. Those people are just leeches. They're leeches over the real talent. Those people don't have any talent at all. They're talentless. They're leeching onto the talent and putting money in their pockets and giving the talent a fraction of what they should be getting and making them think that they're powerless and that they need them. They're just pimps. They're big pimps. And these rappers and artists, they may not want to admit it, but they're getting pimped out. If they can't write the lyrics that they want to write, they can't perform the music they want to really perform. They have to do exactly what these people tell them to do, or they don't get a paycheck. At some point, you got to wake up and realize, I've already used them to get to a level. Now I could take it from here. See, that's moving into 5D consciousness. That's what it means. And then utilizing your power to help and change and shift versus tear down and break down and turn these young girls into sluts and hoes. And you got these guys out here trying to run through women left and right and give them, slip things into their drink so they could take advantage of them and all this kind of stuff and make that a cool song. Are you got to be kidding me? And how many times a guy could steal your woman and do this and do that right in front of your face and all of this? That's not. And then they get on stage and go, when they get their award, I want to thank Jesus Christ for, he's my Lord and Savior, for giving me this. Jesus Christ didn't give you no damn award, fool. Jesus, I want to thank God for giving me this. God ain't got nothing to do with you getting no damn award for rapping about pills and poos. Come on now, get out of here. Stop it. Just stop it. Ain't no God involved in you getting no trophies and no awards for rapping about tearing down your own people. It just ain't happening. That's delusional. That's 3D thinking. They really call on the Lord and God and be like, so thank you. Thank you for helping me write the lyrics to pop your poo and pee and get your WAP and all this. Come on, man. Get out of here. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, man. Just stop. Please. Stop it. Delusion. Absolute delusion. That's 3D thinking. That's ego thinking. There is no savior flying around the sky with a magic wand talking about win this war and you deserve this rap award and you deserve to win this basketball game. And does God exist? Yeah, but not like that. Not like that. Anyway, that's what's going on, man. We got to change. We got to move into this 5D. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat again. Manifest Destiny 2025, Carson Center, Carson Street, Carson, California, taught by Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge. November the 8th, 9 o'clock, all day long. We're riding out, all right? There'll be a VIP-only dinner for VIPs. You'll eat dinner with myself, Robert Grant, and Mike Rashid. So make sure you click the link in the bio, click the link in the caption, click the link in the audio or in the live chat, and I'll see you very soon. That's only a few weeks away. Now I'm getting ready to head out to Egypt. I'm leaving for Egypt on my 2025 October Egypt tour, and that is actually in about 24 hours, so I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to go get a haircut and a shave because I'm looking kind of scruffy right now. I'm going to go get me a haircut and a shave before I walk into the desert for the next 3 weeks. All right. But if you want to come to Egypt with me, you got to register. I mean, every year these tours get sold out and they get sold out so fast. This Egypt tour was sold out months and months ago. All right. And 2026 is already selling out now. So what has happened is selling out. 2026 is going so fast. I added a second tour for 26. So I'm going to go to Egypt twice. I will go in July and I will go in October because a lot of people were saying they can't go in October because, you know, they have the kids in school and so forth. I said, okay, I'll make two. And now I can only take 100 at a time. That's my max because I only have my boat only holds 100 people because we sailed on the Nile too. So if I have more than 100, that means I got to get two boats. We have one boat. Okay. So it's 100 people on one boat per tour. So 100 is my max. I have 4 Mercedes-Benz tour buses with bathrooms on them. And we only stay in the 4 seasons. Okay. So that's, we don't play. Everything is first class, 10-star. But 2026 is already is selling out. I'll drop a link if you want to register for the Forbidden Tour of Egypt for 2026. Let me get it up here and get you that link. And I highly recommend you register ASAP because, again, these tours, and you can see when I post the pictures, I got tons of people with me. And what we do is we do private tours. So everyone gets good attention. Everyone gets to talk to me. Everyone gets to eat with me because I move around from table to table every different day. I give lectures on the Nile cruise. And our VIP visits mean that all the tourists have to leave. Okay. The tourists must leave the site once we show up. It's our site at that point. We own it. And then I give you the forbidden knowledge on site. Okay. And that's how we do it. So I'm dropping a link right now in the live chat for the Forbidden Tour of Egypt. If you are on another platform, click the link in my bio. Look for the Forbidden Tour of Egypt. All right. And go ahead and register ASAP. We even have a 2027 tour already selling out, the Eclipse Tour. And that is the full eclipse. The full solar eclipse will be at Luxor. And we will be at Luxor on the rooftop of our ship, having a meditation, a mass meditation under the solar eclipse in 2027. So all that's on my website. I just dropped a link in the live chat. All right. But don't forget, I want to see y'all in California, the Manifest Destiny 2025, the Carson Center, Carson Street, Carson, California, taught by Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge. All right. So I'll see y'all there very soon. All right. Peace.
If there were any one period in time one would desire to be born in,
I became a master.
Imagined scenario for a real one.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. In a world built to keep you asleep, if you are born with the fire to remember. And there comes a moment in every soul's journey where the illusion cracks, when the truth is no longer just a whisper in your dreams, but a roaring fire in your spirit. On November the 8th, in the heart of Los Angeles and on live stream, I'll be joined by my brothers Mike Rashid King and Robert Edward Grant, warriors of the mind, body, and soul. This is Manifest Destiny 2025, a gathering of warriors, seekers, and creators of the new earth. You'll leave with tools, you will leave with family, and most of all, you'll leave with the God frequency to change your life and the world around you. And there's only 800 seats available in person, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to manifestdestiny2025.com and get your tickets today.